Act a fool when I'm riding out in Tokyo, cool with a Glock in his pants by the fofo. Y'all know me, I got guns by the boatload. Kazi Hitsugaya, I'ma kill me a Momo. Blaze up in the pit while I'm wildin' out in Kyoto. Find me in the crowd, little bitch, there is no hope. And I don't know a word, but they think that I'm so dope. Only all around me, little bitch, I am no joke.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Situation. We are here today to talk about Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 74. Not the actual chapter itself in this particular episode, but we're going to actually talk about Vegeta's new transformation and what are some of our thoughts about it moving forward. My initial thought, obviously, is that it's an amped up form. It's definitely him bulking up a little bit, and his aura, I should say, like that. Like it's almost like that flaming electric aura, if you will. I thought was pretty cool. It must be something that's indicative to Saiyans, because if this is the same form that we saw from Toppo from the Tournament of Power, Universe 11, I believe, we didn't actually see that. He had more of a how do I describe that?
Well,
Good.
if anything, like I want to point out the dialogue that Goku had before, during the transformation. He say like he can feel Vegeta, ki is more akin to that of a god, right? But it's slightly different than the usual Super Saiyan God ki. So,
Right.
with that being said, like it is something that's taught to him by Beerus.
Mhm.
So, I don't know if anyone has pointed this out. I didn't really watch anyone else's videos, honestly, because there's just way too many fucking videos about this already. And yeah.
It's a Vegeta hype, son.
Still, I don't need like 100 goddamn video on my feed
That's true.
from one person. All right. You don't need to make 20 goddamn videos on the same topic in the span of 2 days.
It's a lot of hype, bro. It's a lot of hype. Vegeta
Still.
doesn't get a lot of wins, bro. He's
Still.
being held down.
But I don't know if anyone pointed this out, but like when Vegeta's in that current form, we don't know what color it is yet. But if you see like his face, his cheek is a little bit more sunken in, which is very indicative of very similar to how Beerus is. If you notice that, yeah. To where like he become like, I guess, a little bit more like scrawny looking. So I don't know if that's have any relation to being a god of destruction from Universe 7's and being taught by Beerus himself. That
So do you think that's like a? You
that his
think that's
trans-
like a?
Oh, what's that?
Oh no, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying it's just like something that, like a trait that his transformation taken on by being taught I guess the god keys, or obtaining the god keys of destruction of Universe 7. So
When you brought that up, what Goku said, do you think that this form that Vegeta has is different from what we saw Toppo have?
I mean, I would
From Toppo we saw kind of just destructive energy, yeah.
Yeah.
As an apprentice, do you think Vegeta has something different than that?
I would imagine like it varies from different species and also different universes, but also maybe different level of masteries of the energy of god destruction. To where I guess Toppo is more refined, I want to say.
Right.
To where maybe like the marking on his body are indicative of like where he choose to focus his god destruction energies, to where it's not constantly like leaking out like Vegeta currently is, where it envelop his whole body, but rather like for Toppo it's more like a focus point for him, to where he can like concentrate all of it and it's like not constantly leaking it out, to where it drain a lot faster.
Is it fair to say though too, because Vegeta, this is like Vegeta's first time going into this form, at least as far as we know, that might be indicative of why so much of his energy is spilling out?
It could be.
Okay. Secondly, because you touched on that just a bit, people have been speculating about his hair color. Some people think it's maybe a darker shade of blue. Some people think it's purple, being with the association of the God of Destruction. What is your thoughts on that?
I mean, I guess purple, the purple or would make sense, honestly. But I don't know. I like purple, but it depends on what kind of shade. It looked really dark though, so.
Yeah, like almost. Well, people also maybe thought of it might have been black too, but I think people were kind of settled on purple at the moment.
I honestly I think I would have liked if it was like jet black, but with like maybe like shades of purple in it. That would be cool.
And then as he advances, it becomes dark, like a darker and darker. Well, it becomes more and more purple, I should say.
Yeah, I think it would be like cool if it's kind of like black but with like purple highlight, kind of like how Gold Tank would be like, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
That would be actually kind of dope.
Cause I'm trying to see the panel where he transformed.
Okay.
And looking at the hair color. Yeah, like that. It's black, but it's like not all black
Right.
as when he was in like a regular form.
Mm-hmm.
Plus he ain't got no eyebrows, so very indicative of Super Saiyan 3 as well.
Yes.
So yeah, I want to say like maybe it's black but with like shades of purple.
Now, when he went into this transformation and we saw Granola trying to send shots downrange at him, and the fire basically just kind of negated all of that. What does that initially tell you about Vegeta's power in general? Like, what are you expecting out of this moving forward?
With if this really is a God of Destruction, kind of transformation and auras / abilities, it with the shots that Granola firing at him being canceled, I want to say that's maybe like the aspect of destruction where it doesn't simply can't just cancel it out, but it completely destroy the energies. So that might just be what it is, or maybe not. Like right now, like all artists is just speculations. You know, like who can really say? But that's what I'm assuming it is. Kind of like how Toppo was during the Tournament of Power, where his aura alone kind of like break down and destroy like all the material around him.
Right.
To where like it completely vaporized them. If you remember, when he shot like his energy beams, rather than like exploding, it's like
Disintegrated.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. My next question, or my next point to bring up.
Wait, also is Vegeta rocking earrings?
Yeah, he's rocking one.
Oh.
Or maybe there's two, but there's one. Yeah, it's the same one that Beerus has. Well, it's similar to the one Beerus has, I should say.
But yeah, like I haven't read Dragon Ball Super in a while, so like, did they point out anything about the earring being indicative to like training to become a God of Destruction?
Yeah, like apprenticeship.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was given to him as a counterbalance to Beerus. I can't remember if Beerus gave Goku like a new symbol of apprenticeship and whatever, and Beerus didn't want to be one-upped, so he ended up giving Vegeta the earring, which I thought was actually pretty cool given the animosity between the two, but obviously the mutual respect as well.
Yeah, he made Vegeta dead back for his life.
We don't need to bring that up, bro. We don't need to do that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we don't need to bring that up. Jesus Christ, man. Some respect, please.
Nah. he's a coward and he know it.
Wow. Hurtful. Now, back to another point that you had brought up about how since this power kind of may transition or come into fruition differently depending on the species.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you see how Vegeta has been affected by this transformation, at least as far as we know, if it's similar to what Toppo was going through, what physical changes do you expect? And emphasizing that because what you said about Beerus, how he has like that sunken in appearance every once in a while.
Mm.
Is it possible that because of the God of Destruction or what it may take out of you, that there might be like a massive stamina and or energy drain? And does that explain why Beerus has to sleep as often as he does? He has to eat as much as he does. Do you feel like Vegeta would fall under that same category? My second question to follow that up is when you saw what Toppo's power looked like, because he had a much more calm type nature to himself, Vegeta is way more not
aggressive,
more fierce or feral, if you will, at times. He's actually talked about that in his dialogue. So how do you think his power will manifest compared to Toppo in that spectrum as well?
As far as appearance wise and maintaining the form,
Mhm.
yeah, I would assume maybe that's why bears always have to like sleep and eat so much, is because to maintain the state of a god of destruction constantly while in base form, I imagine it would take a lot of out of a person or a creature or whatever, and maybe it just depends on how much energy or ki they have. But I would imagine like that is having something to do with it. And then what else was it? What else did you say?
Oh, the second part was how will Vegeta's power manifest itself? Is it based on his personality? Whereas Toppo was much more calm and collective, if you think about it, even before he went into that form, and even then he was still pretty much had his wits about himself. Vegeta is a bit more rambunctious. He's a bit more feral, and he even talks about it where the instincts of somebody or of something that chooses to destroy is unbound. And he even talks about how he's waited for this type of battle. No planet to save, no people to have to concern himself with. I can kind of just let myself go to my instincts. So how do you think his power will manifest itself given the frame of mind? And if so, do you think that's how this energy works? It's based on the actual personality of the person that's using it.
I mean, for sure, definitely. I think it does take on the personality of the one who wield it. So it definitely varies from person to person. I would imagine like kind of like how aspect of destruction or destroying, like the aspect of destroying things and how do I want to say this? So the god destruction have that purpose of destroying things so it can be brought, so it can flourish, right?
Right.
By the Shinkai. So I imagine like there are different aspects of destructions, where there are calm, like there are calm destruction where, someone can be like really calm, but they, like in their rage, they have like that calm kind of angers. So I imagine that was Toppo. With Vegeta, he's more, like you say, more feral and wild, where he doesn't control his aggressiveness. So I feel like that would definitely be represented by his destructive aura, to where maybe it's more fierce and more how do I want to say that? It would be more fierce than what Toppo was, to where Toppo was more of like a silent and calm destructive force, to where maybe Vegeta is more explosive.
Okay. Now I know you didn't get to really read or get a chance to see some of the Granola Goku fight, But there is a,
Actually, I did go back and
oh, you did read it. Okay,
yeah.
my apologies. That I take that back. So so I'm sure you noticed how Granola, during his fight with Goku, he focused on his sniping ability and his speed.
Mm-hmm.
But where Vegeta, he's taken a much more direct approach and is trying to be way more physical. I guess you could try to say to match what he feels, matching Vegeta's the demands of a fight with someone like Vegeta. How did you feel that it was a mistake, that maybe he should have kept the same idea as he did with Goku, or do you feel like the approach that he's taking currently with Vegeta is just?
I feel like the approach that he'd take on with Goku wouldn't really work on Vegeta, because I think Vegeta is more perceptive and I guess more careful than Goku is. To where Goku, he's really stupid. To where he really doesn't think when he go into battles, and he just kind of jump in there, with the usual Goku bullshit, where he's trying to fight and trying to befriend, blah blah blah. To where, like, even during the battle, Vegeta is very perceptive, to where he was scouting out the place. If I gotta say, to watch the surrounding.
Right.
So I think that kind of approach wouldn't really work with Vegeta, because I feel like Vegeta would notice a lot sooner. So I think maybe it is kind of like him being forced to go into the more hand-to-hand type of fight with Vegeta. So, yeah.
Now, with that being said, how did you feel that he fared leading up to it? Because I personally think he got baited. I think you saw it where Vegeta was essentially taunting him through most of the fight, even though he was getting hit. But when he purposely, well, you're gonna dodge either which way. But when he dodged in such a way to where when Granola sent that one blast out and destroyed part of that city, and where he really got under Granola's skin, I felt like that was in some ways premeditated.
Yeah, for sure. Like in a way, like for sure. I think Vegeta definitely is baiting him the entire time, or play along with him. Because like Vegeta and even Goku, they're veterans in like actual hand-to-hand experience. To where this guy Granola, this fucking idiot, who made a stupid ass wish.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. He only obtained powers. He never really trained. He doesn't have the experience that a battle hardened warrior would have.
Right.
To where he doesn't know tactics and stuff like that, other than for his sniping and range attack. But he really have no experience in an actual hand-to-hand battle. So I think Vegeta noticed that, and he kind of like play along with it, to where he kind of like testing out the water and see what's this kiss is like, and as Vegeta say, like, as the battle go on, I think Vegeta learned more and more about his habit, and kind of like adapting to it, growing ever stronger from the battle. So.
Okay, but well said. Now here's my next one. Do you feel that Vegeta purposely took damage to not only scout out and or test out Granola's strength and abilities, right? But to also gauge whether he actually needed to go into this new form or not. So let's reword that. Do we feel that did Vegeta go into this new form as desperation, or as just just as his natural progression through a fight where, okay, let's step it up a little bit and let's see what this guy can actually handle? So which one? Did he do it on purpose because he's trying to test himself out, or do you feel that he did it out of desperation?
Honestly, I feel like it's a little bit of both, because, I mean, there are some part where Vegeta is a little bit cocky to where I do think that he did let his guard down. At some point, especially near the end, where he got that stab in the stomach.
Yep.
But I mean, I feel like there are moments where he probably purposely let Granola have a chance to basically put his attack on him, but I feel like it's a little bit both,
Okay. Because I'm leaning more towards it. For Vegeta, this was an experiment. So he, like, because any blow that he took, he couldn't. It's not that he couldn't rebound from it. Even that last hit to the gut, which drew a good amount of blood, obviously, and Granola's sitting there getting off on all the same blood that's on his arm and hand. Even then, that wasn't like a killing blow. Like it wouldn't have, or it shouldn't have, put something. That wasn't strong enough, I felt, to put somebody like Goku down, for example, despite his chest shot. So for me, it was like, okay, Vegeta is slowly but surely leveling himself up, or Zenkai boosting himself through the battle, right, to get himself up to the point where he can now maybe access this new form and then maybe be able to control it for a period of time, if that makes sense. So he purposely took the damage while scouting out Granola's abilities, so once he goes into this new form, he can hold on to it for a little bit longer than whatever he's been testing out with Beerus.
Sir, your Vegeta fanboyism is showing.
Okay, you're right. Okay, I should probably be a little bit impartial, but you get my drift.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's a little bit of both, honestly. I can't. I know I can't. I know we like really can't say for sure.
Right.
Probably until the next chapter or the next two chapter or whatever, if they do explain it.
All right. Well, because hopefully it's next. I think the next one comes out August 10th, the 15th, something like that. Okay. Let's see. Is there any other questions that I have? No, I guess not. I guess that's pretty much it. That pretty much kind of flushed out some basic questions. The next video we'll talk about we'll talk about Granola's wish and the mistakes were made, ladies and gentlemen. Mistakes were made. Do you have anything else, my guy? Anything else you want to add to it?
I think honestly that's all we really know. Honestly, to talk about the form right now, there's no need for us to make 20 other videos about it. Not throwing shade at all. Not throwing shade.
I was about to say, man. People just want to be thorough and cover their bases, bro.
Hey, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to throw scout at anyone.
No, I'm just saying. Like most people will watch this video, and then someone else might actually, decide to make another video off this.
Sheesh.
We brought up some interesting points.
But yeah.
All right. Like I said, thank you guys for coming by. Hopefully, if you get a chance to check out our other videos, we did one on Rock Lee versus Gaara, a what if, and we also have, hopefully if it's up, we have our Dragon Ball Super Broly movie review.
Yeah. Hopefully it should be back soon. The 14 days should be up.
Yeah. So you should be able to check that out, and you can hear some of our thoughts. And there are some theories that we talked about in that video that we will expand on at a later time and date, and as well as bringing you other exciting content as it comes along.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming by. We'll see you guys for the next one.
Peace.
Peace.